Sometimes there are historic events that spark other historic events. Think of the invention of the airplane and how it helped boost the hotel industry. Another connection is when the creation of the automobile became a footnote to women's right to vote.
They were shrewd, daring, and determined to get their message out.
You'll see people carrying banners and flags in big parades. But in addition to marching for the vote, suffragists use all kinds of tools.
After decades of using traditional tactics, the women's suffrage movement was eager to find new ways to draw attention to their cause, the fight for a woman's right to vote.
And when I think women's suffrage, I don't immediately think innovation and technology.
Sure, but there is one sort of unexpected star of the movement.
Associate Curator Saige Jedele steered me right to that star. This car, decked out with colorful bunting and banners, automobiles like this one became a tool that ultimately helped suffragists keep their cause front and center.
I have a confession to make. I've never understood why it's called suffrage.
Well, yeah, a lot of people think it has something to do with suffering.
Exactly.
But it's just derived from a Latin term, and all it refers to is the right to vote in political elections. When automobiles come on the scene around 1900, the suffrage movement's already 50 years old. The desire for something new, something that could really shake things up, and keep this issue that had been so long going in the public eye, it made the automobile ultimately the only choice for them.
And the car, because of its novelty, is a magnet.
Suffragist organizations knew that they could get a lot of media attention if they organized these major cross-country tours, especially with women behind the wheel. In the early 1900s, women drivers were still rare enough to turn heads.
They're not just driving cars. I mean, these cars are really decked out.
They could be decorated, they could be driven in parades. There are examples of suffragists literally using them as platforms, so standing in a vehicle to give a speech or lead an outdoor rally.
How important were banners?
I think banners were very important. When you see them, they're not really clouded with text. Suffragists used really clear messaging.
What was their message? Votes for women matter because
women could be involved in matters that were outside of the home, just like they could be safe and effective behind the wheel of an automobile.
Right.
The first organized use of automobiles in the suffrage movement was in Illinois in the early 1900s. Organizers canvassed the state in cars, reaching people in places they could never access before.
When the state of Illinois granted women suffrage in presidential elections in 1913, suffragists there credited their use of the automobile with that victory.
The biggest victory of all came 7 years later with the passage of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Suffragists finally crossing the finish line after a 70-year struggle.
These women behind the wheel are quite literally the pilots of their destiny.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is that?
So this is a pennant like one that would have been used in the auto tours in the 19 teens.
Wow, well, this is history. So have you got the car keys?
Yep, I'll drive.